What is the one-pointed approach? I talk about this frequently, this one-pointed experience, this one-pointed approach as we orient toward awakening. So let me read something for you or to you from a book called The Three Pillars of Zen. This is a quote of Yasutani Roshi, Zen master, talking to somebody in the Dokusan room. The Dokusan room is a private interview with the teacher. When you're doing a sesshin in Zen, sitting hour after hour, day after day for a week, you go in also to sit in front of the Zen teacher for a very short time, sometimes a little longer, but usually you're just exchanging some direct insights and working maybe with a koan. So he's talking about this first koan, Mu, which is the entry koan for the vast majority of Zen students in the Renzai Zen school. And the Mu koan, M-U, it has a story linked to it, but it's essentially an entry point in and of itself. It is the one-pointed approach embodied in this word Mu, this entry point, Mu, this gateless barrier, this gateless gate. So the Roshi says to the student, to realize the spirit of Mu, you must, without being sidetracked, travel along an iron rail stretching to infinity. One halt, much less many, will thwart enlightenment. The narrowest separation from Mu becomes a separation of miles. So take care, be vigilant. Don't let go of Mu, even for a moment, while sitting, standing, walking, eating, or working. When I read these words in 1997, it culminated, not just these words, but some other exchanges in this book. It culminated in this deep and profound understanding of what was actually being pointed to here. I followed that instruction to a T, such that I wasn't going to move off of that rail. I wasn't going to let go of Mu. I wasn't going to separate from Mu, even if it killed me. It didn't matter. I had gone too far. I had suffered too much, and I knew this was the chance. I didn't know what would happen. I didn't know if it would work or what that would even mean or look like if it worked, but I knew this is where I had to go, and I knew that I would give it all my life energy, and so I did. And it didn't take long for me, but I was also ready. I'd suffered enough, plenty, too much, and I'd also seen that all the other avenues of human endeavor weren't working. Didn't work for me. Maybe they work for others, didn't work for me. So this was my way, and I knew it, and I felt it. As I oriented to this, as I oriented with this, as I gave myself fully to it, all I can say is it became the most intimate thing I'd ever experienced. It was more intimate than anything, any feeling. It was more intimate than sex, more intimate than the most joyful experience I've ever had, which I hadn't had that many really anyway, but it was more intimate than anything. It was just that sort of thing. It was beyond the usual ways that I had learned to understand myself in the world. It just wasn't of that limited scope. It was vast. It was also natural in a certain way. It was known to be unfabricated. This was finally something that was unfabricated. I could feel all this. I didn't think these words. In retrospect, I can say these words, but I just knew it. And there was, again, it was definitely more intimate than anything I'd ever experienced, more real than anything I had ever experienced ever. Any of the stories about what we're supposed to do in life to make ourselves happy, to make ourselves feel satisfied, to find the missing piece, to accomplish what we're supposed to accomplish, to finally find happiness and joy, all of those things to me turned out to be lies, really. I mean, that's putting a sharp edge on it, but for me, they were. There was some shade of the lie. But I also could see a lot of people just believed in that story. They were so enmeshed in that world that they didn't realize it was a lie, or these were lies. They just weren't working for most people, I don't think either, actually. But you can be kind of hypnotized by the thoughts and not realize it. For me, I just knew it was all a lie. It was bullshit. And this was something that felt real, finally. And the signature of real is unmistakable. But to stay on this rail, you will bypass. Not bypass, you will encounter. You will encounter certain obstacles. You will encounter thought obstacles, distraction obstacles, Things try to pull you off the rail. But when you realize the rail is the rail, mu is mu. Mu is nothing other than mu and nothing more than mu. It gets real simple real fast. You believe those thoughts or mu. And it was just mu for me. Mu. That's it. So the thoughts don't matter, right? The thought obstacle is not a big deal once you kind of really decide not to go down those roads anymore. Doesn't matter what the thoughts say. Doesn't matter what the narratives say. It can be a happy thought, a sad thought, a scary thought, a mundane thought, a psychedelic thought. It doesn't matter. That's one of the sort of milestones I guess you'll encounter on this rail of mu. And milestone meaning something you can actually confront and then move past and let go of it. Then there's the sort of experiential aspect. The experiential aspect can be anything from subtle experiences to massively powerful experiences to fear to intense emotional experiences. It can be many things. And just knowing that even when the body's experiencing intensity, when the body's experiencing there we go. I'm usually good at turning off notifications. But they sneak in to my computer. Even as we move from the fixation of thought to the fixation on experience, which the fixation on thought is much more ephemeral. It can be rather binding in a different kind of way, but the physical experience, the emotional experience, the textures of sensation that come as we move through those barriers can be more enticing in a certain way. Enticing, strangely, meaning not to get entangled in the sensations, but to bounce off the sensations and try to analyze or try to label or try to run. And there's always this component also when the intensity comes in the body. And again, it could be fear. Sometimes I call it the fear barrier. It's important to recognize that still it's ultimately thought that is the obstruction here. The thoughts will be much more acute, sharp thoughts than they were before. Like, I'm going to die if I continue this way. I can't breathe. I'm going to suffocate. Your mind will tell you what it needs to tell you to try to get your attention again. Just more thoughts. But now the thoughts accompany these intense sensations, right? You're going to go crazy if you keep on this path, right? Whatever. You won't be able to take care of your family. You won't be able to work. You won't be able to function. Like the ego, when it gets threatened, the gloves come off and it starts to really get at you with these more intense thoughts. But again, if you just continue on the path, stay with mu, that will calm down. And those thoughts will be disregarded like every other thought. And you'll realize thoughts are thoughts. Doesn't matter what they say. No thought has more truth value than any other thought. They only have a kind of reality that can affect you to the degree that you believe they can affect you and you react to them. So you'll move beyond the reactivity with thoughts and you'll stay with mu, just mu. This one word, this one truth. No separation, no questions. Questions. Doubt. Doubt is another thought. All this falls into thought category, but they just come in different flavors. So doubt, the feeling of doubt is a sneaky thought. You don't realize it's a thought. It says, I don't know. I don't know if this is right. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. I'm not sure if mu is for me. I'm not sure if I can handle this, right? We identify so much with doubt that often it sneaks in when other thoughts weren't able to get our attention. Even fear thoughts. The doubt thoughts can still sometimes get our attention if we don't recognize, it's just another thought. Another thought that says, I'm not sure if I have what it takes for this. I don't think I can do this. Well, is that a real thought? Unreal? Is it about you? Is it about nothing at all? Is it a stereotyped thought that many people have or most people have? Now the question is, do you believe it? Do you need to react to it? Do you need to grasp onto it or push it away? Wrestle with it? Try to reject it? You don't need to do any of that. It's just mu, right? All day, all night. Into eternity. It sounds daunting when your mind is believing in time. How long do I have to do this? And let go of all that crap. Let go of time is crap. Time is just torture. Let go of it. And now you're touching eternity. And now you are more intimate with mu. Because it's not in time. Just stay there. Stay there. Don't move. Don't move the mind. Don't grab onto thoughts about past and future, cause and effect, spiritual concepts, Buddhist concepts. Let them go. Let them go. Just move. Move. That's the one point. Just die into it. Let it take everything. You won't be disappointed.